It all began on a rainy Tuesday morning in Chicago. Michael Harper, a 32-year-old accountant, was sitting in his tiny apartment staring blankly at his laptop. The numbers on the spreadsheet blurred together as his mind wandered to the life he had chosen, or rather, the life that seemed to have chosen him. Every day was the same. Wake up, commute, work, come home, sleep, repeat. And yet, something inside him had been whispering for months, urging him to take a risk, to step out of the routine and truly live. Michael had always been a cautious man, the kind of person who planned his vacations months in advance and triple-checked every decision. But the whispers grew louder the night before, when he stumbled upon an old photo album tucked away in his closet. There, in faded photographs, were memories of a younger Michael with a sparkle in his eyes that he hadn't felt in years back. Hiking trails underfoot, laughter frozen in time. Those images made him realize just how far he had drifted from the person he wanted to be. That morning, as rain tapped against the window, Michael made a decision. He would leave everything behind for a year: his job, his apartment, his comfort zone, and embarked on a journey he had always dreamed of. Traveling across the United States, meeting people, learning stories, and discovering what life truly meant to him. It was terrifying, yes, but it was also exhilarating. For the first time in years, I felt alive. The first stop was the deserts of Arizona. Michael rented a small van and converted it into a makeshift home. Driving through the vast, arid landscapes, he felt a sense of freedom that was intoxicating. He met fellow travelers, each with their own stories of courage and transformation. There was Sarah, a former corporate lawyer who had given up a six-figure salary to start a nonprofit helping underprivileged children, and Jamal, who had left behind a thriving tech career to pursue his passion for music. Their stories inspired him and reminded him that life's worth was measured not by security, but by fulfillment. One evening, under a sky painted with countless stars in the New Mexico desert, Michael met an elderly man named Henry. Henry had once been a businessman, much like Michael, but had decided decades ago to leave the corporate grind and dedicate himself to teaching inner-city kids how to paint and express themselves. They shared stories of regret, fear, and courage, and for the first time, Michael felt a profound sense of clarity. Life, Henry said, was less about avoiding failure and more about embracing opportunities. Months passed and Michael traveled from Arizona to Utah, then to Montana, following trails, rivers, and roads less taken. Along the way, he volunteered at small farms, helped to rebuild a community center after a storm, and even spent a week living with a Native American family who taught him traditions he had never known existed. Each encounter reshaped his understanding of success, happiness, and connection. But the most pivotal moment came in the quiet town of Asheville, North Carolina. Michael had been feeling homesick and uncertain, questioning whether he had made the right decision. One morning, he walked into a small coffee shop, and there he saw a young woman, Claire, struggling to carry boxes of supplies for a local literacy program. Without thinking, he rushed to help her. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, and over the next few weeks, Michael became deeply involved in the program, helping children learn to read, organize community events, and provide mentorship. The work was challenging, exhausting, and deeply rewarding. Through Claire, he discovered that his journey was never really about seeing new places. It was about finding ways to contribute, to connect, and to feel a sense of purpose. The joy of seeing a child read their first book, the gratitude of the families he met, and the friendships he built along the way reshaped his definition of success. No longer was it about money, prestige, or comfort. It was about impact, love, and authenticity. By the time Michael returned to Chicago, nearly a year later, he was a changed man. He had left the corporate world behind, started a nonprofit that connected travelers with volunteer opportunities across the country, and learned that fear was often just a signpost pointing toward growth. His old apartment, once a symbol of monotony, now felt like a base from which he could plan the next chapter of his life. Life defined not by safety, but by courage and compassion. Sitting by his window once again, watching the rain fall over the city, Michael realized the truth he had been seeking. Life doesn't wait for perfection, and it doesn't wait for certainty. It demands action, courage, and a willingness to step into the unknown. And sometimes, the smallest decision, to pack a bag, help a stranger, To follow a whisper of intuition can change everything. Michael smiled, feeling the warmth of possibility. His journey wasn't over. It had only just begun, and for the first time in years, he truly understood that a life well lived is not one without challenges, but one where each challenge is embraced as an opportunity to grow, to love, and to make a difference.